All right, we are back and we are live. Welcome back, everyone, to our daily live feed. As you are logging on, if you would like to come work with me, suitsandposing.com is where you have to go. We do hair, makeup, suits and posing, all the fun stuff when it comes to competing. If you haven't noticed, we have a little bit of a different setup right now. So as you're logging on, if you're on Instagram, probably not a whole lot different except to see me with my earbuds in. If you are on YouTube or Facebook, tell me if you can hear me because I have a new mic and I've got a new camera and I've got a new setup in the back. And so I want to know what you guys see and hear. Let me know if the video quality is better. Let me know if the sound quality is better. That's the hope and the praying part right here. Mike sounds good. Okay, awesome. Yay. Fancy Mike. I know it's sparkly and everything. Got all the rhinestones. I know over on Instagram you can't see it. It's my sparkly mic. It's my sparkly mic right here. So yeah, I got hair like stuck to my lip, like a dog hair. It's driving me nuts. What's up? Okay, cool, awesome, cool. Yeah, we upgraded everything. New lights, new mic, new sound, new camera, everything. So good, awesome. The screen might be blurry depending on your connection. This is a live stream. So, if your connection's not great, then you might have a little bit of a blurry connection. But there's nothing I can do about that on my side. So welcome, you guys. Welcome. Awesome. Cool. Glad this is better. We're all professional and everything now. And I can actually hear myself too, which is awesome. I could never hear myself before, so I never knew like if my mic was working or if it wasn't, all of those kinds of things. So we are rocking and rolling. So yep, curtains in the back. Yep, everything's new. We're doing a whole new like setup. I still it's bugging me because I got most of the wrinkles out of the curtains, but I didn't get all the wrinkles out of the curtains. I still got to steam them some more. So I got to get those wrinkles out. They're going to drive me nuts. Welcome, you guys. I can say from my end, at least what I'm seeing, I see myself crystal clear. Like the actual webcam itself is much, much better than what I had before. So, and the sound, everything. All right. Give it a couple more seconds here. Yeah. All right. Tonight. So we're finally into the season here, you guys. We're finally getting moving. We're going to get the Borderklash, and we're going to wrap that up for this evening. This is another thing you'll have to tell me because I am going to screen share video because I have video from Jennifer. Jennifer was down there in person, so she got us some video. So I am going to screen share video. Let me know if you can hear the sound. I don't know if we really want the sound because it might get docked by YouTube for copyright. So let me know if you can hear it because I might just turn the sound down when I share the video. But we're going to share that at the end. I'm going to go through their photos first. We're going to do the top 6. We're going to go through their photos and just do some critiquing and things like that. For those of you that are new here, this is what we do after every pro show that we have coverage from. So Borderklash was a little bit of a different kind of show this year. Typically, you see a lot of big names at Borderklash. This year, there wasn't. So this year, there was opportunities for girls to kind of get noticed. Going into it, we assumed that Amy was going to win it, and she did. From what I've heard, again, I've seen some of the feedback that the girls have posted and things like that. And I would say, like, everything that I've seen, I 100% agree with. So I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about maybe some of the stuff we haven't seen, or at least I haven't seen. From what I saw, it was pretty clear that Amy was the winner. But I do still think there are some improvements that could be made. There always is, regardless. There's always improvements that can be made, regardless of how good you are. And I'm just going to give my 2 cents as far as what I think. But I do want to cover the top 6 because we talked about these girls when we were previewing this particular show. So there's a few names on here that we don't know that are brand new, all of that. So let's pull up and screen share for you. Okay, so here is your competitor list, first of all. Made it live. Yes, we are here live. So, excuse me. So let's go into sixth place, which was Priscilla. So this was Priscilla linebacker. We had talked about her coming into the preview because she is a previous Olympian, all of that. But she hasn't done quite well in the last couple of years. She's been off stage for a long time too. She hasn't been on stage since the Arnold. Sorry, I'm trying to move this a little bit here. Let me move my camera a little bit for my Instagram viewers. If you're on Instagram, we're screen sharing over on YouTube and Facebook. So go check it out on YouTube and Facebook if you have that access. It's a little bit better. The same issue with Priscilla here that we've seen in the past. Like she's a beautiful girl, has a beautiful shape, all of that, but she's definitely bottom heavy. So let's pull up her, and she's tall too, which is, I was saying, this is a little unique for a girl to be have most of her mass on her bottom half when she's tall. But let's take a look at her right here. Again, great shape and everything, but it's almost like she's just not conditioned enough in her lower half. But the problem is, as she gets more conditioned, as her conditioning comes in better and she drops some more of this body fat right in here, she's also going to lose up in here. So that's the biggest issue here. This is a common problem. If you carry your weight on your lower half, which most women do, you carry the weight in the hips and the glutes, things like that, then it's very difficult to pull just that down and not the top. And you can see already back here, she already has striations in her shoulders. So, she's already relatively lean up top. And I would say she actually needs more shoulder cap here too. Just already, she needs more shoulder cap. You can see how flat it is as it goes down into her arm. She's got a great V-taper into her waistline, tiny waist, all of that. But her shoulders they're just not there, right? So the hard part is if she tries to bring her lower half in better condition and in better shape, she's going to lose up top as well, which it's already a little bit small. So I don't know what her plan is from here on out, but this has been consistently the issue with her for the last, year or two since she's been competing. And again, she hasn't been on stage for a while, but this is the same thing that we saw from her the last time she was on stage, which I believe was the Arnold, if I'm not mistaken. So it's still the same issue. Also, I'm not a huge fan of the suit. The suit cut itself, not a huge fan. Suit color, not a huge fan. She needs something deeper. I like the blue, but it's too light on her skin tone. I'd like to see it pop a little bit darker. Let's look at her back shot. Let me find a back shot first. And if you guys have any questions or see anything as I'm going through this stuff, please feel free to shout it out in the comments there. Okay, so here's her back shot. So as you can see, she's just not conditioned enough. She's just not lean enough. Great shape through the back here. She's a little bit uneven. That's an imbalance probably from the way she poses, that kind of thing in the front pose, like we've talked about several times. If you're unbalanced and you're posing in the front, which this is her front pose side. So she's crunched here on the side and she's longer over here. So you can see that's kind of why she has a better shape on this glute right here than she does over here. I was watching the live stream. She looks smaller live in the picture, it seems. No, she's definitely not small. That's for sure. She's definitely not small. So yeah, she's just got to come down more. She's just got to come in better shape. But again, the problem with that is that if she loses here, she's going to lose up here as well. Like this is a great shape up here from the top to the center. Like I think this actually looks really, really good from her shoulders into her waistline. But she's got to be better conditioned, right? So if she's coming in more, this is going to come down. So again, I don't know what her plan is. I don't know if she's doing more shows or if she's going to go, try to build or what. I don't know, but we'll see what happens from here. But I think this was a fair placing. What makes it stand out from the back that she's not lean enough, she doesn't have any tie-in at all. So we don't want a sharp tie-in. And I'm going to talk about that with a few other girls. We're going to talk about the difference between a sharp tie-in and not a tie-in at all. She's just got too much body fat back here. I mean, you can tell just looking at her, she's got too much body fat, and you'll see it even more clearly once we go into the rest of the girls on the stage too. She's got great shape. And actually, I like the cut of her suits in the back. She's just not tight enough. She's just not tight enough. And again, she's got to work on fixing that imbalance as well. You can see her left glute is a little bit rounder. And what I mean by that is she actually carries a little bit more body fat on this side than she does over here on this side. And that's just imbalances with her posing, which is probably leading to imbalances with her training. And that's what's creating this imbalance as she stands here. So I tell you guys that all the time with your posing. There's a reason. All right. Let's get the next one up. So next up we have Emily Plagher. I don't know how to pronounce that correctly, but she has been off stage for over a year now at this point. She did go to the Olympia already, but then she took a year off to build, which I believe she did do a good job with that. But I still think, and I think I saw this on her feedback too, that she said, I still think that her upper body is overpowering her lower body. And in leanness and in size and everything. This is a hard balance, you guys. So shoot, I'm trying to move this so I can see my computer. There we go. She's not fully posed in these full length shots. So I'm gonna pull up one of these ones where she's half shot because we can see everything anyway. Okay, so when you look at her here, great shape. This I am not a fan of at all. If you guys are one of my posing clients, you know I always tell you, pull that hand back and below the belly button. I can't even see her belly button here. That's not good. You gotta be able to see the belly button. Not only can you not see the belly button, but it's making this shoulder hike up in the back too. See how she's unbalanced and she's sloping down this way with her pose? It's because of this hand. So this hand placement needs to go back onto her hip and down. So just so you guys know, I tell every one of my posing clients that. But if you notice here, she has a really dense shoulder cap here. She's got all of this vascularity going through here. In bikini, we don't want to see all that vascularity. So she's got to pull that vascularity down. Okay. She's in great condition top to bottom, but because of that, she almost looks like a cross, like a hybrid to figure. I have this issue. I have bigger shoulders than anything else on my body because I came from figure. That's me. That's my body shape. So I understand this. I understand this body type. This is also how I get. I love my shoulders, but they can be very overpowering. Good. I'm glad she got feedback from the judges to move her hand as well. That's important. That will definitely help with her overall pose. So she's really strong up here on top. And I just don't know that. I mean, it could be a posing thing could help with that. She's got to make sure she checks this vascularity when she gets on stage. Maybe, I don't know, maybe don't pump up. I'm not sure. But this vascularity is very distracting. Like I said, it's very dense here. So as much as we love to see the veins and things like that, we don't want to see that in bikini. Okay. So she needs to soften that up a little bit. And then what becomes the problem with this being so dense and so hard with her is that her back shot is not even close to that. So let's take a look at her back shot. And this is what happens when you've got muscle maturity in certain areas of your body and you don't have muscle maturity in the others. And that's what I feel like we're seeing here with her glutes. So she's done a good job of pulling her glutes up and bringing her glutes up and increasing the size and everything like that on her glutes. But you can see just looking at this that she's not as dense here as she is in the shoulders, nor should she be. She shouldn't be this dense in her shoulders, right? This is not bad. This is actually pretty good with her pop, her density, her flow, all that kind of stuff. I would say probably some more upper glute. I don't like how high this suit is sitting on her. See how you can see like her hip bone in the back, her tailbone. That will actually make your glutes look more shallow. She should have taken this suit and pulled it down so that V comes down further into her glutes. And that would have helped this shape quite a bit. Again, she's a little unbalanced with her back pose. So she needs to work on that so that we don't see one elbow sticking way out and the other one not. To me, it looks like she's pushing a little bit too hard. I could be wrong on that, but it could just be this particular shot where she just looks like she's like in between, but it looks like she's bending over. Which again doesn't help her shape. It actually diminishes her width up top, which then makes her waistline look thicker. When you stand up nice and tall and we can see your delts and you're nice and strong across the top, then your waistline actually looks smaller. So bending over is never a good idea. I know some girls think they need to do it in order to get the hamstrings to pop and things like that. I understand that. But at the same time, it really diminishes your shape. So if your hamstrings aren't there, then you really should just be dieting for another couple of weeks to get the hamstrings to come in, right? So I would change this back pose as well, but I would also change where the suit is sitting and try to fill out the upper glute a little bit more. Overall, I do think this is a better package than what she had before. I do think she made improvements for sure. But there's still just things that need to be tweaked and fixed. And also, when you've been off stage for a year or so, it's really hard to make all those changes in one show back. So, some of these girls that I'm talking about right now, some of them, they've been off stage for a long time. Like I said, with her, with Priscilla. And then also, we're seeing some pro debuts and things like that. It's really hard to make those changes when it's your first time on the pro stage in a while, or your first time on the pro stage ever, right? So, we don't typically have this kind of problem at this particular show. This particular show usually is pretty stacked with like people that have been around for a long time. So this is new. We're not seeing that here at this particular show. We're seeing newbies, right? Or like I said, girls that have been off stage for a while. So again, just some little things to be fixing and changing. I think she could definitely move up in placings if she is able to adjust those things properly. So that's her. All right, next we have Carly. So this was one where I felt like she was just a little bit too lean. Let me pull up her individual photos. So, she's got great shape. But again, same problem with the hand. At least we can see her belly button now, but this hand needs to come way, way down. Never should the hand be above that belly button. Bring it down. This is just too hard of a pose right here, right? It starts making this arm look really stringy and hard, and it almost crosses over to figure when we're talking about how hard this angle is. So that hand needs to come down. Suit color is beautiful on her. Overall look is beautiful on her. I just think she might be a little bit too lean through this waistline. This is very washed out, almost depleted looking. She needs to fill this out so we don't look quite so grainy here. This happens sometimes with girls, like some girls, they lose all of their fat and everything right here in the waistline. And that's where we see like vascularity, we see graininess, we see all of that. You see it a lot when girls have had children. So that can be the case. I don't know if she has kids or not, but you see that a lot when you have the skin here because of that. So that's where my eye goes, is right there. She's just too hard and grainy in that area. Shoulder's nice, but I think she could be fuller. I think she could be fuller in the shoulder. Overall shape is nice again, but she could use some more glute. So I'd like to see more pop of her upper glute here, and I'd like to see more fullness on her shoulder. And I think that if she brought her hand down, that would help with a little bit of the stringiness that we see here. We're seeing some cuts through the legs and things like that we probably shouldn't see. So I think she's just a little bit depleted. And probably needs to fill out a little bit more. I'd be curious to see what she looks like. She puts another like pound on her of just, filling out, and just see what that looks like. That might do her a lot of good. Oops, wrong thing. Let's go to a back shot. Okay, here's a back shot for you. Okay. Automatically too much hair. I mean, she already needs more glutes, right? She already needs to put some more glutes on. And her hair is covering up half of them, right? So you need to be really cognizant of that, because you can't even see the top of her glutes here. I can't comment on her suit cut because her hair is covering it, right? This might be a fine suit cut, but I can't see it. This is one where you can tell, the question was asked about Priscilla being not lean enough. This is one where you can tell, again, she's just a little bit too depleted. See how we see that tie-in here? It's a tight tie-in. It's a tight tie-in right here. She's probably actually in pretty good condition for this particular show. She's just not full enough. So she needs to put a little bit of that fullness back on. I'd like to see more glute in general, more upper glute up here, more pop to that glute. These glutes should just come out at me a little bit more. They're just a little bit too depleted. They're, again, just overall, like her shape is great. She's got a great frame to build on. I just think she needs more. I think she needs more everywhere, right? If she was just to get a little bit more everywhere, I think that would be a world of difference on her frame. So again, I don't know what her plan is as far as going forward and things like that. But my suggestion would be to take an off season and put some more fullness and size on. Probably do another show, try to fill out and do a little bit of more carbs or something like that, and see what happens, see how everything pops. But then at that point, I would just go and try to build, build everywhere basically, except for the waistline. You never want to build the waistline, right? But keep the waistline tight. But yeah, just a little bit more everywhere. Like again, if she comes back with that little bit more everywhere, she's got a great shape and she could be doing very, very well. So that's what my suggestion would be. So this is her debut. I thought it was her pro debut. She looks like a relatively new pro. This is, she just needs to mature into the pro league a little bit, right? If she matures into the pro league a little bit, she'll do very, very well. Again, she's got a very competitive shape. She just needs another round of size on top of it, basically, right? Okay, and then we have Kathy, which let's find a front pose. I think this is fully posed, which I'm going to give some of the same critiques here that I've been given to the other girls as well. First thing is that suit. Suit killed me. The suits were killing me, you guys. The suits were killing me. Just doesn't fit. She's kind of fallen out of it here. When she's walking to the front, you can see how much gap she's got here in the center. She needs a suit that's going to give her more support and help to push her in a little bit. Some girls have an issue with like their implants where the implants just don't move very well, that kind of thing. But you can do some things where you can try to minimize that at least a little bit. That to me was pretty distracting. So I just like to see a completely different suit cut. The color is fine. The color is beautiful. But when you turn it to the back, you'll see even on the back shot, I'm not a fan of the back cut either. So I would just do a whole new suit on this. I'd like to see more glam with the hair. Hair's a little flat. So I'd like to see that pumped up a little bit more. She needs more shoulders. Again, you can see she's very striated through the shoulders here. This is a common theme that we're talking about, right? She needs more oomph on those shoulders here. That overall, if she's able to put some more size onto her upper body through here, that would make a huge difference in her frame. Because you can just see she's very, very lean through that top half. And then she's not quite so much on the bottom, right? So on the bottom half, she needs to come in a little bit tighter, actually. She's just a little bit, just a touch. Like it's almost like a film of water almost. But just a touch tighter here through the bottom. But then again, we run that risk of being even more striated up here on top, So it's a hard balance. And this is something that we see. And again, she's a tall girl. This is something that we see a lot where, as females, we carry our weight in our hips and our thighs and in our butt. That's where we carry our weight. That's hormonally what we do. You know what I mean? So it's getting down to these body fat levels are very, very difficult. And then on top of that, keeping the balance from top to bottom once we get there is very, very difficult. So that's why you have to have significant size on top, because if you don't have that size on top, that's what's going to happen. When you get down to this size, you're going to end up having nothing left up top. So whereas you think that you have a ton of muscle and all that kind of stuff up here on top when you're in off season, once you get in condition enough to be competitive on stage in season, it's not enough half the time. Jennifer can attest to this. We got to get more size and more shape up top so that on the bottom, we can get lean enough. That's the hard part, right? Guys don't have that problem. We do. So, this was a great finish for her. Again, I think it was her pro debut, I believe. So you can't be mad at getting third place on your pro debut. But when she gets up against some of these tougher competitors, those are going to be her downfalls right there, right? She could probably still use a little bit more upper glute too. So I would try to put more size on the upper glute and more size on the shoulders. Just try to fill that out and get that nice and full and round. But again, can't argue with third place on your pro debut. That's pretty good. I didn't do her back shot yet. We got to do her back shot. Hold on. That's my bad. Skipped right over her back shot. I think she's fully posed here. Hang on, let me look at it. Yeah, I think she's fully posed here. Yeah, so as you guys can see, I'm not a fan of this suit cut at all. This suit cut is just get a new suit. Just get a new suit. This is a cut that you would see on the local level stage in NPC. Okay, so ladies that I do suits for, some of your suits will look like this when you're on the local level. You know, they'll have this much coverage. Once you're on the pro stage, it's just too big. It's just too big. So, no, this was definitely a softer look. I'm just commenting on the one comment. No, this is definitely a softer look. I'm going to show you the second call out. Second call out was hard as nails. So, anyway, going back to, it is a lot of coverage. It's a lot of coverage on her backside. She's just, again, great shape here, needs more upper glute. This is what I've been saying with all the girls, right? So needs more upper glute here. She's got a really good taper from her upper body into her waistline. This is what I was talking about when I said with Emily. If Emily had stood up a little taller, this would make this taper a whole lot better. Her taper is really, really good because she's standing up super tall. So top of the body looks great. Again, needs more delts, like we said, from the front, needs them from the back too, right? But this upper glute, she needs more upper glute here, just like I said, from the front, needs upper glute from the back too. And in that, she needs to be a little bit tighter to the hamstrings and everything too. Now she's tighter than Priscilla was, but she's just still not quite there. So she needs to be, again, I think it would help with this situation is if she had more size in her upper glutes. If she had more size in her upper glutes, she automatically would be tighter through here, because what happens is when you put size up here, it pulls everything up and everything tighter. So that would automatically make her better if she had more size up on that upper glute. That's just how skin works and everything. Hey, look at me. I talked about this last week. I went in and got my face done this week, right? I'll show you in a second. Let me get rid of this so you can see it. There you go. Okay. So when I went in yesterday, I got filler, right? So this is what muscle does. It fills out things, right? So when I got filler in here. So it pulled everything up on my cheek and filled in my under eyes, right? In the process, it pulled up everything here too. So that's what would happen if she got muscle on the top of her glutes, then her hamstrings would automatically be tighter because it's going to pull everything up. So does that make sense? Sometimes these girls think that to get conditioned, they have to get leaner. In reality, to get conditioned, they need to add more size onto their frame so it pulls everything up and tighter. It's a beautiful thing once you can add that size up on top. It pulls all that skin, everything up. Okay? So, yeah, I've never done it before. This is the first time I've done this. But guys, I said this last week. Once you start getting older, things start moving and changing. You start losing volume in your face. That's where you lose a lot of volume. You lose a lot of fat as you get older. And that's what was happening to me. So I just had it put back in here. So I got rid of my dark circles under my eyes. Boom. All of a sudden I look 10 years younger. I'm like, I'll take it. Cool. But that's why I go back to muscle is the fountain of youth, because that's what muscle does. Unfortunately, you can't gain muscle in your face. So you have to do something else in order to get your face to lift up. So can't put muscle on your face, but you see what I'm saying? But it's the same situation with your body. If you put muscle into your skin, that skin is going to lift, right? And everything else underneath it is going to lift. That's why getting muscle is the fountain of youth. Tied it all together right there for you. Okay, so let's go to Brittany. So Brittany, and this is the one I mentioned during our preview, that I said I thought she would compare really well to Amy, and I could see her getting up into that second place spot, and she did. So let's find, again, they don't have a full front pose of her, so we'll do a half one. All right, so this girl has a lot of potential. She has an amazing shape. Conditioning was perfect. I wouldn't change a thing about her conditioning. She was really balanced with her conditioning from top to bottom. She looks really, really well balanced. However, her pose is off. She posed so sideways that all we can look at is this glute, right? So while it's a phenomenal glute, bikini is about balance. Lit up the stage when she actually smelled. Yeah, right? She's got great posing, great movements, great swagger, all of that, but she needs some adjustments, right? There's just a smile a lot. I know I know that feeling. I have to force myself to smile, so I get it. So if she was to bring her waistline on a little bit closer, like straight on, that would actually really help to balance her physique out. So I would change this pose, immediately change this pose. I understand. I mean, it makes her waistline look teeny, teeny, tiny. I get that. But in doing so, it puts her body out of whack, right? So we need to bring that waistline on just a little bit more towards the front, because if we do that, then she's able to balance from top to bottom, right? And that's going to make her look even better. Okay, because this is phenomenal. But the first thing that you look at when you look at her is oh my God, look at her glutes. And we always say that with bikini. Bikini, it's not about looking at your glutes. It's about looking at the balance and the shape of the frame. Okay. So again, I think her conditioning is perfect. I think her look is fantastic. I wouldn't change anything about her look. I would just change this pose. Okay. I would change this pose. Let's take a look at her back shot. And I will say, just from looking at video and stuff, I'm going to show the video in a minute too. Just from looking at video, I do think she had like the best swagger on stage. I do, of the girls that competed. So she did a really good job with her flow. And from the back, I think she looks really good. I think she's got a lot of pop to her glutes. I think that all looks good. But there's, again, a few things that I would change here. Relax these arms down. Those are hiked up too much. If she just let the arms come down just a little bit, her shoulders would pop. And again, she would look better balanced. By herself, this is a great pose. By herself, this is a great pose. She has great glutes, great pop to them, everything like that. Once she got into the lineup, and I'm going to show you this in the comparison video, once you got her next to Amy, you could see she needs more glutes. You can see that she looks like she has more legs than she does glutes. Here, it's not quite that evident. It's not until you get them into comparisons that you notice this, right? So you can kind of see she's got that quad sweep going on here, and probably needs a little bit more upper glute again. The same things we've been saying about the other girls with the upper glute. She needs a little bit more up top here, but that's not super evident until you get her next to Amy. Okay. So I actually think she had the best pop on her glutes of the whole show, but they just weren't quite in proportion that they needed to be. So a little bit more glute from the top, a little less leg. And that could just be a posing thing too. Again, going back to, I would change up how she has her upper body posed, and then just see kind of what we can do to tweak this bottom half. Try and make those legs come down a little and the glutes come up a little bit, right? Let's take a look at Amy. Okay, so here's Amy, and she was the favorite going in. She just placed 6th at the Olympia, so it's pretty much a given that she would win this show unless she came in really, really off. I don't think she was going to lose this. What I want you to notice a few things different that she did versus Brittany, because I really think it came down to the two of them for the win. I don't think anybody else was in that talk. I think it was the two of them. So when you look at her pose versus Brittany's, you see how much more straight on to the judges she is than than Brittany was. She's got that waistline pulled around. No, she's not like standing straight onto the judges. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying in comparison to what we saw with Brittany, she is quite a bit more straight on towards the judges than Brittany was, right? She's very well balanced with her muscle. She's very well balanced with her conditioning. You can see from the top here, if I was to take a ruler and draw a line from the outside of her delt down to the outside of her glute, it would hit. That's perfect symmetry. Okay. That's what you want. You want perfect symmetry right there. Okay. Now, she typically wears a blue suit, so this was a new color for her. I do like the red on her, but I don't like that it's velvet. I think I would like to see it be the typical spandex. I think the velvet was just a little bit meh to me. If she wore like a fire red that was not soft like this, I think that would be a better red on her. I still like the blue a little bit better, but I would like to see a brighter blue than what she wore. So like there's still a couple of tweaks that I would make between both of these suits. If I had to pick this one or the blue one, honestly, I'd pick the blue one. But I still would like to see her in like a blue, but a brighter blue. That would be my choice for her. I think that a brighter blue would be really pretty on her. But other than that, I mean, this is a pretty damn good pose. I don't think I would change anything here. Now I will say one of the things that I noticed, and I think I saw somebody say about she forgot her prejudging meal or something like that. She lacked some pop. Specifically, you can see it in the shoulders. And when I pull her back shot up here, you're going to see it in the glutes too. And Jennifer, I was texting with her during the show, and I mentioned she didn't look very full. So you can see it here, like in comparison to the pop that Brittany has, the pop's just not here for Amy. It's the shape is better than Brittany. Like I said before, like you can see here, she's got more glute than she does legs, which is what you always want. When you're looking at the 3D-ness, she's just looks a little depleted, which would make sense if she didn't eat, you know. This is why food is so important, you guys. It's not a starve yourself contest. You need food in order to fill the muscle out. So to me, it looks like she's just a little flat. She's just a little flat. This may be an in-between pose where she's not quite there with her shoulder. But this is right here. Her delt right here is right. Her delt over here is not right. So maybe just pull that elbow in. Again, this could be just an in-between pose that I pulled up. But other than that, this is a pretty solid back pose. I wouldn't change anything. Again, looking at her feet go directly underneath her shoulders, which is what you want. You want the feet to go directly underneath the shoulders. You see her lower back. So her hair's not covering her lower back. It's not hitting the top of her suit, all of those kinds of things, right? So this is a really good back pose. I would just like to see more fullness there, right? Yeah, can totally see the difference in pop for sure. 100%. And again, you know, the reason why I'm not a huge fan of this red on her is I feel like it blends into her skin too much. If she had a spandex red, I think that would look really good. But again, going back to, I'd like to see her in a blue, but a brighter blue. So there's your top 6. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to share video, but I got to pull that up. So hang on a second. I got to remember, make sure I get the right one. Oh shit. That's not the one I want. Let me see. I think this is the one that I wanted to do. Yeah. Okay. Is this it? Or is it? You can hear Jennifer in the background. Can you guys hear the volume? Tell me, can you hear the volume on the video? Because I want to know that, because I'm going to probably turn it down. Because I don't want YouTube to ding it for the music. I'm going to turn it down anyway, because it's really loud in my ears. So I'm going to turn it down. And for this part, I'm going to get rid of that chat overlay so you can see the full video. There we go. Okay. Okay. Negative on volume. Okay, good. I can hear it, so I'm still going to turn it down and turn it off because it's kind of annoying in my ear. So this is your top 4 right here. So the things I want you to pay attention to is the things that we just talked about, okay? So you see the fullness in the shoulders, right? So you can see how she needs more shoulders here. Her shoulder looks pretty good. Could probably get a little bit more pop out of that. Her shoulder looks pretty good. And actually this pose is better right here. I know Jennifer's sitting a little off center. So depending on how she's actually looking towards the judges right here, this might be better. But I feel like she's yanking that arm again, talking about that arm yank. So she's got that that shoulder up here. And then she's just hitting that pose really well. So let's play it. Just let them go through their comparison to the back. Okay, they're changing them up. Let them get into their back poses. Now, the other thing that I would say is Brittany is the last one to get into her pose. That's not necessarily a good thing. Okay. I understand wanting to take your time, do it right, all those kinds of things. But if you're still moving, look at Amy's already in her pose, right? And if she's competing against Amy right here, this is a better look for Amy than it is for Brittany, right? She's not in her pose yet. She's kind of in her pose. She's just kind of fixing her hair, but she's still actually moving, right? Let's go ahead and play. I'm just trying to stop it once she gets into her pose. There. Okay. So here is what I was talking about with the difference in the shape versus the pop. Okay. So Amy's shape from the back is definitely better. You see how her glutes are bigger than her legs as we're looking at this, right? And then when we look at Brittany, her legs are a little bit bigger than her glutes, but Brittany has better pop. See how she pops and she has that sheen right here a little bit more than Amy does. Amy's just a little bit flat. So, you know, at the end of the day, which one do you go with? You go with the girl that has the best shape, or you go with the girl that has the best pop, right? Now this part right here, you guys, everyone except for Brittany needs to work on their walk to the back. And this is everyone across the board in this entire show that I saw. This one killed me, you guys. As opposing coach, walk to the back. Make sure you know how to do it. Make sure you can get that walk to the back. Okay. This was everybody. Everybody needed help with that walk to the back. Okay. Especially here is where you can see where the shape of Amy is a little bit better. Okay. And again, looking at the symmetry from the front, when you're looking at the conditioning between the two of them, they're pretty on par with conditioning, right? They're both pretty on par with conditioning. The flow of Amy's physique is just a little bit better. Again, she's got this yank up with that shoulder. If she could just relax this hand down and bring it down, hook it on the hip, that would look so much better in this front pose. And she just needs to tweak that front pose up a little bit. I think that relatively soon, Brittany will win a show. She's just got to make some fine tune, some little teeny tiny changes to her physique. And again, I wouldn't change a whole lot with her conditioning at all. I would just try to tweak her poses and see if it helps to bring the shape out a little bit better. There's one, I did want to show you the video of second call out as well. I think this is it. Yep. Okay. This is the video second call out, and I just wanted to show you guys this so you can see the difference. These girls, other than over here in the red here, all of these girls were over conditioned, too lean. So I want you to watch this as they get into this back pose. We're seeing striations and things like that we shouldn't see, right? So way too lean, way too lean. This is too lean too because she just looks like she's flat. She's probably the fullest of all of them, right? Too lean, too lean. This is the only one right here. She's not too lean. She actually needs to be a little bit better conditioned. These are the things that are very, very noticeable once you see it in person, right? And when you get to be too lean too, like look, when she gets to be too lean here, we lose that glute volume, right? This just looks too hard right here. It's actually a really good back pose. She's just too lean. If she was filled out, you know, she might not be too bad if she was filled out. She might be a good density fullness right here. Saying all the wrong words. She could be a good conditioning here, right? She just needs to fill out. And her tan is too light. Her tan is way too light. The tan makes a big, big difference. Tan is too light. Tan is too light. Both of these girls, their tans are too light. Just doesn't help you see their muscularity at all. Play. See what I mean? Everybody needs work on that walk to the back. You guys, work on the walk to the back. Work on the walk to the back. It's so important. Let me get into their pose. Okay. So somebody mentioned earlier in a comment that they thought that Bikini was supposed to be going softer. When you look at this second call out, they definitely went softer in the first call out. 100% went softer in the first call out. So you got to remember there's a difference between being soft and in shape and conditioned and all of that and being too soft. Okay. The rest of the girls, I didn't look at the last call out, but I'm assuming that the rest of the girls were probably the same situation. They were too soft, right? This tends to be the case when we look at shows and how the call outs go. Okay. Typically, what will happen is that the girls that are in first call out have the perfect level of conditioning, the perfect amount of leanness, the perfect amount of fullness, all of that. And then it's just about picking, choosing between hairs. You know what I mean? Like the shape or whatever, like I said, between Brittany and Amy, it's a shape thing. That's how you choose in that first call out. Second call out tends to be the girls that are in too good of shape, if that makes sense. Tends to be the girls who are too hard, too conditioned, right? That tends to be your second call out. Third call out tends to be the girls that are too soft, that need more muscle, that need more shape, that need more whatever. They tend to be too soft. That tends to be how those call outs roll out. Not always, but usually. Sometimes you'll see girls that are way, way, way too lean, and they'll be in that third or that last call out. But typically when you see a girl that has decent shape and she's just too hard or she's flat or whatever, then she'll be in that second call out. Okay. Overall, I think that these results were correct. Again, I think it really just came down to Amy and Brittany at the end of the day. And I think that was the right call. But I do think that with a few tweaks, Brittany will win a show pretty easily. So do you guys have any questions? I'll pull the chat overlay back up for the last couple of minutes to see if anybody has any questions about this. Any questions on anything we went over tonight? Hope you guys liked the new setup. And yes, right up top here, you see our QR code for our free suit webinar. If you are looking to purchase a suit, there, I can talk. This webinar right here is free. And I teach you about what you need to have a winning suit. We saw a lot of suits in this particular show that need some help. Please let me help you. Let me help you get the perfect suit, right? Let me help you get the perfect suit, right? So the other part of it too, guys, is please, like if you do get a suit from me and you do order a suit, please communicate with me. I will help you make sure that suit fits you perfectly on show day. I'll help you stuff it. I'll help you move it. I'll help you tie it. I'll help you do all the things that you need to do in order to make it sit on you correctly. One of the things that I can't stand is when girls wear a suit and didn't ask me how to wear it. Let me show you. Let me do it for you, right? Let me show you exactly how to put it on so that way it frames your physique at its best, right? So if you are looking to purchase a suit, if you need a custom-made suit that's going to fit you well, that you need all those things for, that you want somebody to show you how to put it on you correctly, all of those things, you need to go to my webinar. Right here. Sign up. It's free. Yes. I can't wait for you to wear one of my suits one day too. I will absolutely make sure you look your best in it. 100% guaranteed. 100% guaranteed. So any questions that you guys had? Again, I'll leave it open for another minute or two. I would gladly help you all. I would gladly help you all. It's one of my, again, when it comes to suits and posing and stuff like that on stage, it's one of my biggest pet peeves because I am so invested in it, right? So whenever I see it, like, I just want to be able to fix it. Like, let me help you. Can't wait for it. I know, right? Round 2. Yes. Any other questions, you guys? This was a good show. Like, one of the cool things about this show, again, is going into it, we see a lot of new names and a lot of new faces. I think that's going to be kind of a theme this year. We have a lot of pros that have we've got a new pros over the last couple of years. And I think we're going to start seeing everybody come out. So that may make our, our wrap ups and our previews and things like that just a little bit more interesting, because it's not the same people all the time. When you have the same people in the lineup all the time, you know how it's going to go, right? Unless they come in really, really off. So when we got new people, keeps it exciting. So with that, I hope you guys liked my new setup. I kind of liked it. Like I said, I like the fact I can hear myself. That's kind of nice. I can never hear myself before. So I know like what you guys are hearing finally. I do think that the quality is 1,000 times better. So I hope you guys can see that on your end too. And this will get us moving in the right direction and just keep going with the upgrades and everything. Thank you. Yeah, the setup's legit. That's for sure. You got to keep upgrading, right? Got to keep upgrading. Never settle. Never stay stagnant. Always get things going, rolling better, right? Yep. Good. I'm glad you guys like the sound. I think the sound is key. Also the video. I'm curious to see what it looks like once I watch it back on YouTube. Because what I can see right here, it looks so much better. So I'm hoping you guys see it better too. But with that, like I said, sign up for my free webinar right here. If you are interested in getting a suit, learning how to get a suit, and making sure you get a perfect suit right there. Oh yeah, the rhinestones in the mic for sure. Absolutely. You know I was going to have stones on my mic. 100%. Got to have the sparkles. For those of you on Instagram, this is my new beautiful sparkly mic. All right, guys, I will be back again tomorrow night, 8:15. Same time, same place. I'm pretty sure we have shows coming up this weekend, so we should have pro lists that I can take a look at and we can preview. So that's what we'll do tomorrow, as long as we have pro lists. I just haven't had a chance to look yet. If not, we'll do something else. We'll do another topic. All right. So I hope you guys had a great weekend, that your week is off to a great start, and I'll see you right back here again tomorrow night, 8:15. We'll let you guys go off of Instagram first, then we'll go YouTube and Facebook. Good night, guys. All right.